Big. Dead.
Jaren, have you ever removed your helmet?
I have.
Then you are a Mandalorian no more.
I beg you for your forgiveness. How can I atone?
One may only be redeemed in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore. This is the way. What do you know of this flame? It is a sign of power.
Whoever wields it can lead all of Mandalore. The mines have all been destroyed.
You haven't heard.
Heard what?
We're at war. You sure you want to stay? This is the way.
What is Outplay? You play and it records.
Here we go, guys.
You can choose exactly what you want it to record, whether it be kills, assists.
What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode of Please Stop Trying to Give Birth at Disneyland. Please. Did you guys know about this? I just found out this is a thing. Women are trying to give birth at Disneyland in order to get a free lifetime pass. Don't do that.
What? Bro, I've never heard of this.
As I'm sure you guys are aware, because Disney is such a huge company with so many adoring fans and people love going to Disneyland, there are a ton of like urban legends and lore surrounding the Disney parks. You guys may have heard of some of the more outlandish ones, like there's one that like Walt Disney's head is like frozen and buried somewhere at Disneyland or something, or like it's like Buzz Lightyear's head on the Toy Story ride or something like that. But today I wanted to sort of dive into some of the urban legends surrounding the Disney parks. Mostly the strange things that Disney adults do at the Disney parks. Although some of these things are so weird that I hesitate to call these people Disney adults, some of these things are a little extreme. Kind of feel like I should call them something else. These people are like Disney extremists or something, I don't know. The first one, like I said, women flock to Disneyland to give birth and get a lifetime free ticket. Which is such a bad idea on its face. Like, please give birth in a hospital, give birth where there are like medical professionals around and not like a chipmunk. And the worst part of it is obviously this perk is an urban myth and does not exist. This is not a real thing. Laboring women have shown up at Disneyland in the hope that their bub will be born there and get a lifetime free ticket. But guess what? That perk is an urban myth and does not exist. Important to note, this article is Australian, that's why they're calling the baby bub. They're talking about a baby there. They're not talking about like a bottle of champagne or something. I'm going to Disneyland and giving birth to that bubbly dude, which is also what I call having a fart. I just gave birth to a bubbly. As a veteran of the pregnancy game, I know for sure that the journey to motherhood, okay, that's a weird way to say I've given birth before, or just that I am a mom. As a veteran to the pregnancy game. So you have kids, right? Me? Yep, yeah, that's right. I've done 3 tours of pregnancy. I've seen shit you cannot imagine. The pain, the screaming. Yeah, I've heard childbirth can be pretty tough. The innocent lives lost. Oh. What? The airstrikes. So many civilian casualties. Are we still talking about giving birth? Yes. Laboring women are racing to Disneyland's gates in hopes that if their baby is born there, they will secure their child a lifetime pass. Okay, so the article goes on to describe that there are people that have given birth at Disneyland before.
It's only their child gets a lifetime pass, not the mom. So you're still gonna have to pay, but your child. Yeah, I thought this was like a thing where it's like, oh, if I do this, I get free lifetime pass. This kind of makes the mom look less bad, but still, really horrible. Why would you do that?
And people have tried to replicate it and give birth at Disneyland and they've gotten caught and it hasn't gone well. I do feel like the article is over-exaggerating, though, saying that laboring women are racing to Disneyland's gates. Like, pregnant women have, like, the baby already coming out and they're shoving it back in, like, running into Disneyland. There's just, like, a crowd of angry mothers-to-be banging on the gates in front of Disneyland. Let us in! We must release our spawn! Like, making a break to the Pirates of the Caribbean ride to do a water birth. I just feel like they're exaggerating a little bit. I don't know if I would characterize it quite like that. So you're probably wondering how this rumor started. Like, did Disney ever at one point give a lifetime pass to someone whose baby was born at Disneyland? Well, I will let this TikTok explain that.
Today in Disney history, the very first Disneyland baby was born. Rosa Salcedo gave birth to a 6-pound, 10-ounce baby girl on a bench on Main Street, USA, right outside of the Plaza Inn. Can you imagine visiting Disneyland as a family of 2 and coming out as a family of 3?
Yeah, I can actually. But not because I'm gonna give birth. I'm gonna kidnap Donald Duck. You're my child now, Donald. The perfect happy family of 3. Husband, wife, and my uncle Donald Duck, who I've been holding at gunpoint for the past 16 years.
There have been 4 babies born at Disneyland, and all of them have been girls, but only one has their own Disneyland birth certificate.
So that might not have sounded significant, but that's actually how the rumor started. The first baby that was born there, Teresa, got a birth certificate that was just like a Disney birth certificate that says like, this is the first baby to ever be born at Disneyland. And I guess like word got out that this baby got some kind of special certificate, and then people just started assuming like, oh, that's a lifetime pass. That baby got a lifetime pass. And from that moment on, has just been a rumor that if you give birth at Disneyland, you're
Stop gaming. In 2022, it doesn't make any sense to game without getting something back. Yes, you can play games and get amazing gifts in return.
No.
What's up, Greg, and welcome back to another episode park in to a hospital to give birth. And I guess that sometimes they can be so rushed trying to get you out of the park that it comes off as rude, but when I clicked on it, it turns out that it doesn't exist anymore. Kind of special certificate, and then people just started assuming oh, that's a lifetime pass. That baby got a lifetime pass. And from that moment on, has just been a rumor that if you give birth at Disneyland, your baby gets a lifetime free pass. So honestly, if you're that big of a Disney fan and you do this, you don't even get a lifetime pass. You still have to pay to go to Disneyland. It's just your baby that gets in for free. And I kind of feel like babies get in for free to Disneyland anyway. Is that true? Children under the age of 3 get in free to all 4 theme parks and 2 water parks at Disney World. There you go. You want your kid to get in free to Disneyland? A better conspiracy would be just pretend they're 3 years old for their entire life. That shit could actually work. The article goes on to talk about a time where someone has tried to sneak in to give birth at Disneyland, and they hid in the bathroom while going into labor until I guess employees had to assure her that her baby would not be getting a lifetime pass, and then she was like, oh, okay, fine, then I'll just go to the hospital. Once they assured her that she would not be receiving a lifetime passport, she came out and accepted the ambulance ride to Western Medical Center where her baby was born shortly thereafter. I don't know about you guys, but it kind of sounds like she failed the test. If you know anything about Disneyland, you know how well the cast members there, all of the employees, all the staff, all the people in costumes are trained to respond to every circumstance. It sounds like you just entered the giving birth at Disneyland experience, and honestly, you didn't make it to the end where you get the prize. It also says that this discussion board, The Laughing Place, has some hilarious forum chats about this topic. So I guess other people have been sharing stories about this happening on this forum, but when I clicked on it, it turns out that it doesn't exist anymore. Which kind of sucks because I wanted to find out more times that this has happened, but honestly, it is probably for the best. Kind of sounds like they were talking about some pretty sick shit in there. You think you're gonna go to a Disney forum and see people talking about my favorite movie's Coco, but instead you see people talking about I'm gonna give birth inside of Pluto's house. I'm gonna go to Disneyland and get fucked by Goofy, and then Goofy's gonna be the father of my child, and I'm gonna give birth on It's a Small World. And I'm gonna make Elmer Fudd cut the umbilical cord. Is Elmer Fudd a Disney character? I actually don't think he is. But he's gonna be there anyway. And then me and my freak mutant, half goofy, half human child will both get lifetime passes. Free pass for life for my little freak. Passes or not, being born in Disneyland is a pretty cool claim. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. The way this is written, it kind of makes it sound
I guess it's cool, but you're gonna get made fun. You're gonna get made fun. You're cool for that.
So you might not get a free pass, but I don't know, it's worth a shot. You might want to do it anyway, just for shits. I've actually found a little bit of discussion about this on TikTok as well.
Quick question. What's stopping me from giving birth in Disney World?
Guards. People in there. Traumatizing children. Wait, I don't think you care about that stuff. Yeah.
World. In the Magic Kingdom, on a ride, in the Epcot Hall.
I think
On a ride? Man, I hope you do not have a child. Because you so much.
this TikTok in particular is a joke, but the comments under this TikTok are actually very interesting. I went into labor at Disney. They were not cool about it. And people responded asking her to elaborate, and she goes on to detail her experience going into labor at Disney. And from her experience, it kind of sounds like the second anybody starts going into labor at Disney now because of this conspiracy, the entire staff immediately flips and makes it their top priority to get you out of the park and to a hospital to give birth. And I guess that sometimes they can be so rushed trying to get you out of the park that it comes off as rude, but obviously they're just concerned for your health. They also don't want this rumor escalating of people giving birth getting a free pass. And also it's just people in sweaty mascot costumes trying to not deliver a baby because that's not their job. So sometimes I guess it comes off as rude. But the funny thing is, from this woman's entire explanation, it sounds like she didn't even know that this urban legend was a thing. So in her head, I guess she just broke some unspoken rule at Disneyland that she had no idea about and made the entire staff of the happiest place on earth turn on her in an instant, which is so funny to me. Hello there, what can I get for you? Yeah, can I just get a medium root beer, please? Oh, great. Oh, great, another guy here to put his balls in the root beer. What? Hey everybody! This guy right here's about to pull out his big fat balls in front of everyone, in front of a bunch of children, and put his balls in a glass of root beer! Why would I do that? Don't play dumb. I'm not playing dumb. I am dumb in this situation. You've clearly heard that if you put your stupid fat balls... Why do you keep calling them fat? In the root beer at Disneyland, you get to spend the night with Minnie Mouse. Oh, what the fuck? No, I just wanted some root beer. Is that true? No! It's an urban legend! But no matter how many times we tell people it's not true, we still get perverts like you coming to Disneyland, ordering root beer just so they can put their stupid, don't call them fat, balls in it! Oh, come on, man, don't cry. I already am. Why do you still sell root beer if this keeps happening? Because if you shit in the root beer, you actually do get a free fast pass for Space Mountain. Okay, I don't want to put my balls in root beer, and I definitely don't want to shit in the root beer, okay? I legitimately just want to drink some root beer. Oh. Sorry, my bad, man. I didn't know. Okay, but that's literally what I asked for, so... Here you go. Ah! What the fuck is that? It's Walt Disney's head. You said the secret code, so here's his head. No! Root beer! What? I wanted root beer! I wanted to drink root beer! So no head? No! Overall, pretty disappointing that anyone actually believed this in the first place. In what world would Disney want to foster an environment where mothers are coming into their park, their theme park, to try to give birth? Especially if they're not like billing it back to the person that gave birth and being like, okay, here's your hospital bill, and because it's Disney, it was $1 million. Now, by now it should be no surprise to you that there are some people in this world that want to spend every waking moment of their lives at Disneyland, especially their most precious moments in life, which is why you can also get married at Disneyland.
Let's take a look at some of the craziest places you can get married at Disney World. Starting at $12,000, you can get married at the Haunted Mansion in Disney World.
But just like expecting mothers trying to sneak into the bathroom to pop out a quick person, couples are of course also trying to cheat the system and avoid paying to have their wedding at Disney. So they'll just like sneak in with like themselves, maybe a couple family members and an officiant, and just like have the wedding in like a somewhat secluded area of the park. Here we have an article that details a San Diego couple sharing their secret Disneyland wedding story. Not many people can say they secretly got married in Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle. 2 years ago, Gabriel and Andrea had been saving up for their dream wedding at Disneyland. However, when they began looking for wedding options at the park, the couple said that the cheapest option was $12,000. Instead, they decided to spend their life savings on a house. Great move, honestly. No complaints so far. That's a very wise choice. So Gabriel and Andrea decided to have a secret wedding at Disneyland. The couple gathered Gabriel's oldest daughter, an ordained minister, a witness, and packed their bags, heading for Disneyland for what they called a guerrilla-style wedding. Now, I don't know much about weddings. I've only had one, but I do know that you don't generally want to have them guerrilla-style. Like when we were planning our wedding, that word almost never came up, I don't think. Just imagining them describing their wedding afterwards like, yeah, it was so romantic. We hid in the bushes for 8 hours in the hot Florida sun wearing camo paint waiting for the crowds to die down. You know, just sort of waiting out the crowds and the gunshots, the airstrikes. Airstrikes? Then we popped out and I said I do. Happiest day of my life. Here's my favorite picture of the big day. Now buckle up because this next urban legend is about to get nasty. Quite literally, this is disgusting. Like I said, the most devoted Disney fans would probably spend forever at Disney if they could, but maybe they can. For years and years, the Haunted Mansion has been the home to an endless supply of Disney myths and legends. But the attraction's most prevalent and persistent rumor is that guests regularly spread the remains of their friends and family inside the ride. This can't be true though, right? It is 100% true. Yes, that is right, and I don't want to bash anybody's final wishes. I know that that's a very personal thing, but spreading human remains in a public place that people are like walking around and touching? Please don't do that. Or you know what, I should say, you know, because I feel bad for people who are just trying to honor their dead relatives' wishes or whatever. If you're alive still and you're watching this video and that's gonna be in your will, please take it out. Don't make people do that on your behalf. Honestly, I am a little relieved that people are sticking to like spreading ashes at least, because there are a lot of different ways to dispose of a body. It was actually my grandpa's greatest wish to be laid to rest rest at Disney. Oh, that's sweet. You're gonna scatter his ashes around at the park? Not exactly. The Haunted Mansion probably has so much human ashes in it, it's not even funny, said one Disneyland custodian. Blech! That is the nastiest thing. Oh my god. Don't do that. Do not do that. Please.
People scatter their loved ones' ashes in the Disney parks monthly. Can you imagine just like being on a ride and the person next to you is dumping out ashes? Disney employees are literally aware of this too. They have to follow special protocols every time this happens. The custodians are used to identifying and vacuuming up these ashes.
I don't know why I was surprised to hear they vacuum them up. Of course they do. It's a literal human corpse, basically. Of course they get rid of it. The people who are like requesting this happen to their bodies must know this, right? They must know that some custodian that does not willingly work in like a morgue or something is going to have to take care of that. This sounds awful for everyone. If you're the custodian, you have to vacuum it up, but if you're the person that just lost someone you care about, you have to know that they're just gonna vacuum it up. They might even make you watch. They have you come identify all the places that you scattered the remains, and then they just like make eye contact with you while they're vacuuming it up. This is going in the garbage now. We're gonna throw this in the garbage now. Say bye-bye. So when you're laying them to rest in the happiest place on earth, you're actually condemning them to forever in the suckiest place in the world. Yes, that is a very funny joke.
And people will put them anywhere too. Like flower beds, bushes, the lawn at Magic Kingdom, outside the park gates.
Outside the park gates? They'll put this shit anywhere too, you know, outside the park gates, on the highway on the way home, the McDonald's across the street, Universal Studios, shit anywhere. It doesn't really matter. I feel so bad for the employees that have to deal with this, honestly. That would be so scary. Honestly, even as a patron, you know, I honestly like going to Disneyland every once in a while. I think it's pretty fun. But next time I go, I am going to be terrified that I'm like touching human remains at all times. Especially now knowing that they put them everywhere. I'm gonna be eating a turkey leg and wondering like, is this actually some guy's leg?
They're most frequently dispersed around the Haunted Mansion, which is kind of perfect if you ask me.
Okay, this girl's actually a little bit too into it. But now this whole ashes thing, which is not really an urban legend, is actually true, has actually spawned urban legends out of it, as you can see here.
Have you heard of the legend of the crying boy at the Haunted Mansion in Disneyland? The story goes a mother spread her son's ashes without permission from Disneyland, and you can see him crying as you're exiting the ride.
Spooky. I wonder why he's crying. Maybe because his ashes are in a vacuum. Maybe because he was a little boy and his mom spread his ashes in the scariest ride at Disneyland. The mom was like, yeah, my son used to love this ride. Every time we would get on it, he would be screaming and crying and shaking because he was so happy and excited. So I decided this is the perfect place for him to spend the rest of eternity. In a rundown castle of pure terror. What my darling little boy would have wanted. All in all, it seems to me that Disney, this giant corporation that owns like every media property known to man, has their grubby little fingers wrapped around people a little bit too tightly. It's like you already have every movie and TV show. Do you really need people like begging to spend their entire lives at your theme park also? But even still, with people spreading their loved ones' ashes at Disney, people trying to give birth at Disney just to get free tickets, Disney is still trying their best to immerse you in their parks as much as possible to make you never want to leave. Recently, Disney opened up the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel, which is a Star Wars hotel and experience. I think it's like a 2 or 3 day long experience where you are like in this hotel. There's like a story that you have to follow about shit going on around you. It seems very immersive, and to a pretty big Star Wars fan, honestly, it sounds pretty cool. But it is also $5,000, and instead of windows, your room has a screen that just shows a video of outer space playing. So, you know, just keep that in mind that you might go insane while you're in this place. With no concept of night or day, you just have to adhere to the Star Wars pre-approved activities. There's like stormtroopers patrolling the halls at all times. It's kind of like they wanted to build a Star Wars hotel, but they built a prison instead. I read through some of the Google reviews for this hotel. It's only been open for a little bit, so there's not that much to go off of. And honestly, there are a lot of 5-star reviews of people who seemingly really enjoyed it. I did think that this review was really funny. This person gave it a 1 out of 5, and they said, thought the experience was fun, but not worth the price. There are too many missions to keep track of, and you are always missing something. It kind of seems like they got like too immersed in the story and like started to believe that they really needed to complete these missions. This sounds more like the review of a disgruntled employee that like works on a spaceship. There are too many fucking missions, man. There's too much shit to do. The hyperdrive is gonna fail, And I need to fix that, not to mention the First Order's breathing down my fucking neck, trying to get me to give away the location of my comrade. This place is fucking stressful. I think my favorite thing I've seen come out of this Star Wars hotel is this apparently now deleted ad for the experience that says strike unlikely alliances in your very own Star Wars story. Apparently when you come in, you can decide if you want to be like on the good side or the bad side, so this ad shows that. Holy shit, this place is metal, dude. This goes hard. It's crazy to me that you actually can choose to be on the side of, like, the evil intergalactic fascists, basically. You and your preteen daughter can don First Order uniforms and betray one of your favorite characters' trusts, Chewbacca, giving away his location and leading the First Order directly to him, who will take him away to be tortured and then eventually executed. It might be a little too immersive. It might be. We're gonna start hearing people come back and you're gonna be like, how was your trip? You went to the Star Wars hotel, right? And they'll be like, the guilt over my actions will haunt me forever. But I did what I had to do. It was honestly fucking sick. I loved it. And honestly, like, if someone offered to bring me there for free, would I go? Yes, I probably would. Yeah, honestly, I would like to go, 100%. I would like to go. And as if living in an intergalactic prison isn't immersive enough for you, pretty soon Disney is going to start offering an even more immersive and even less temporary experience. You may have seen Disney recently announce their Story Living initiative, where they're basically going to be building cities, with their first, like, test city being built in the desert in California. I don't know about you, but this seems very creepy to me. I don't really know what Story Living entails. They're pretty vague about it in all of the promotional videos.
Story Living by Disney allows us to leverage what we do best: world-class service, legendary storytelling, and creativity. This exciting new venture will enhance, extend, and strengthen the Disney brand by allowing us to...
They have no clue what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing exactly. They just know the idea. They're trying to get people to pay money for it.
bring the magic of Disney to places you may never have expected.
But it does kind of worry me to live in a town where every aspect of your day-to-day life is curated by Disney. Oh gosh, I feel like we have so much chemistry together. Me too. This has been great. This day was a lot of fun. I really haven't connected with anyone like this in a long time. Fantastic. How likely would you be to recommend this experience to a friend? What? On a scale from 1 to 10, how would you rate my performance? Performance? I thought you were just, like, genuinely interested in me, like, romantically. Oh, perfect. So a 10 then? I really opened up to you. And you opened up to me. That's all just part of the story living experience. It's Disney magic. So that whole story you told me about how sad you were that you had to release your pet into the wild because it had grown to be wild. That was the plot of The Fox and the Hound. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Thank you for riding Disney's Love Connection. Please make sure you pick up all your belongings as you exit the ride.
Are you an animatronic?
Please do not try to fuck any of the animatronics.
Are you all animatronic?
Have a lovely day here at
Am I the only person that lives here? Anyway, that's the end of the video. It's time to talk about our sponsor. What's up? It's me, a hacker, and I'm so excited to steal your data because you don't have today's sponsor, ExpressVPN. You see, sending data over an unencrypted network is a lot like sending a postcard. There's no envelope to cover up your info and protect your sacred message.
Oh.
Enlisted is the free, brand new online World War II shooter. Command a squad of soldiers and participate in legendary battles of
Promise me you will train the boy.
Only pain will you find.
your solitude on Tatooine. Training I have for you. Learn the path to immortality.
Yoda. We'll get there, eventually. Truly the son of Anakin, this one is. Growing fast.
Nah, you know, I didn't mean to do that, but it's good. Why was it? He had no way. He had no way. Oh.
You're in so much pain.
I am.
Yeah. Hello, Spider-Man fans. Thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. We are still pretty much a couple months, maybe even a year away before we get more consistent Spider-Man 4 news, particularly Tom Holland's Spider-Man 4. Tom Holland's taking a break making other movies right now, while Sony's going ahead and focusing on the solo spin-off villain films Kraven the Hunter, Madam Web, Venom 3, the 5 people out there hoping for the next appearance of Morbius, the Marvel legend. But even with that said, we recently got some updates from Sony themselves talking about Spider-Man 4 with some surprising details I was not expecting about this movie and could make me a little hesitant on this film. I'm going to be breaking all those details down, but I'm going to need you Spider-Man fans to give me your opinion. You hear these details coming from Sony themselves. Does this excite you more for Spider-Man 4 and the new college trilogy, or does this make you go, wait, what, really? As well as don't be forgetting to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, so yes, Deadline went ahead and posted an article just yesterday with the Sony chairman, Tim Rothman, where they asked him a lot of questions about what Sony has planned for the future, and there were some interesting things let know about this article. Like, for one, they confirmed further that a Ghostbusters sequel is in the works after Ghostbusters Afterlife, that they're very excited for the future of that franchise. He even goes ahead and corrects some misinformation that has been spread online about Will Smith saying that Bad Boys 4 at...
The guy on the left looks like he just straight out came. I can't speak. He looks like he just came out of like GTA 5.
Sony is not currently canceled. After that Oscar slap situation, there was reports that Bad Boys 4 was put on hold. Now he's saying here that's not necessarily the case. They still want to make that movie with Will Smith. But then, of course, a question you're always going to get asked if you're Sony is what's going on with Spider-Man, and this is what he had to say. He mentions at first that Sony's very focused on getting the animated Spider-Man movies made and released to the public.
Spider-Man movies. I work on 2 Spider-Verse features, so up to recording. I hope to get working on the next Spider-Man movie. So in the day of returning, I understand Zendaya is returning for like Spider-Man taking up on her, but Zendaya is not. Should not be in this movie. This is all about. This should have you think like Gwen or Black Cat. Make new friends, you know. Maybe make like introduce. What's the character? Harry. No, then Osborne.
Public, but then he says we hope to get working on the next Spider-Man.
That whole movie
movie where the interviewer then asked him, with John Watts, Tom Holland, and Zendaya returning? Where the Sony chairman went ahead and replied, the whole group, we hope. Then
Why? No, no. They shouldn't be in it unless it's checking up. It doesn't make sense. Unless they got to the same college. If they went to the same college, then I understand. But I feel like you went to a different college, so like they went to the same college, I understand that being out from seeing in the classes is the same. And then, but they should not be a main point of the movie. I want to listen to people think. Like, you're not shooting it. If we're shooting, they're not shooting right.
And there are movies I would call adjacent to the Spider-Man universe. That's Kraven, which we're shooting now, and Madam Web, which will start shooting in spring with S.J. Clarkson directing. And that's the part right there that's kind of blowing my mind right now. We just had a Sony chairman and executive member who is in charge of these Spider-Man movies saying they hope to not only get Tom Holland, but Zendaya and John Watts, the director, back for the fourth Spider-Man movie?
Why are you so surprised about the Spider-Man one? It sounded like not only Tom Holland. Tom Holland is not. Why would you be surprised? I get the rest. I get being surprised for the other ones, but I know.
That's kind of surprising for me, because although it was never really officially confirmed that this would be the case, you would think after John Watts making 3 Spider-Man movies, Homecoming all the way to No Way Home, that was kind of it for the John Watts vision about Spider-Man, and then the next trilogy we would see of Tom Holland would be by a new director with sort of a fresh new vision, kind of change up the style a little bit, and maybe do something.
No, I didn't think that. I mean, if he started it, he shouldn't. I mean, we saw what kind of happened with we saw what happened with sequels to Star Wars. Someone was starting it, he ended it, but in the middle it got all messed up.
Something different that John Watts didn't do. But to hear the Sony chairman say that they actually...
Well, I guess if it's another director, they can pick it up. But if John Watts can't think of a sequel to it, and it's not going to be good, give it to someone else.
Hope to get John Watts back for this 4th movie. I'm on the up and down, man. Don't get me wrong, I love a lot of what John Watts did with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. There was some really great stuff he did throughout that trilogy, particularly in No Way Home. But part of me was like super excited to see another director take the helm of Spider-Man, start him off in this college trilogy where Peter Parker is at his lowest of the lows, living by himself, no friends, no family. The potential for classic Spider-Man stories that could happen is like through the freaking roof. So with Sony hoping to get John Watts back, I feel like I can kind of expect already what the movie will feel like and be, and it just excites me a little less. This makes me even wonder a little bit more if these are the real reasons that John Watts went ahead and left the Fantastic Four movie. We recently heard that he's making like a Star Wars TV series for Disney Plus, but he's not necessarily going to be the one doing the entirety of the show. He's just kind of overseeing it. I wonder if Sony went ahead and did the old slipperoo on Kevin Feige and was like, John Watts, we know Feige's offering you a lot of money. We're going to offer you Morbius money.
Intriguing.
Ain't nobody gonna say no to some Morbius money. But I can't also forget here that they mentioned Zendaya. Also, they want her back for the 4th Spider-Man movie. And that kind of surprised me because I thought for the next Spider-Man movie, we might not see the characters of MJ or Ned. But Sony has it in their minds that Zendaya is an important character in the Spider-Man universe and they're gonna bring them in, which makes me think they're gonna undo whatever spell MJ had at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home. And she's gonna remember Peter Parker. I guess it's hard to blame Sony all the way for this, because when you look at stuff on paper, like, they don't want to go ahead and stray too far from the golden path, because as much as some Spider-Man fans don't be loving John Watts and his vision, he's brought them nothing but money. Last 2 Spider-Man movies making over $1 billion, having like a 90
Attention gamers. Man, I wish I found this program sooner. Outplayed records highlights of your game completely automatically.
percent or higher on Rotten Tomatoes. Sony was probably like, look, we already got something amazing with this guy. Do we really want to risk it with someone else that could be worse? I guess it's just after that post-credit scene in Morbius that I've lost faith in whatever direction Sony has with their Spider-Man universe. Because I was willing to put like big money on the line to bet that the Vulture, Michael Keaton, was going to be a villain again in Spider-Man 4. Because the spell made it so that he forgot Peter Parker, but remembers that Spider-Man put him in prison and took him away from his family. I thought we would see him team up with Matt Gargan, aka the Scorpion, played by Michael Mando. That needs to be utilized, man. You can't just tease him a long time ago and never bring him back. Especially with the Scorpion's origin story being so perfectly set up in the MCU, because you have J. Jonah Jameson out there who is like a very successful news person, made so much money off just hating Spider-Man. I would so believe it that he invests some money in making a Scorpion suit for Matt Gargan, tells him, hey, go after the Spider-Man, I'm gonna make your suit green after Mysterio, because he was the best hero that ever lived. But no, we have no Vulture now in the MCU. We have no idea if Scorpion will be returning ever. At least we have Tom Holland.
I'm pretty sure that they're gonna get. I don't know what's gonna happen with Sony, but they have to bring them back, or Sony versus Oprah. So I don't know if that means like Marvel just gonna take all the characters back, or
Holland in the black Spider-Man symbiote suit to look forward to, but even that, I'm curious to how they're going to play it out. Like, isn't it wild to think about the next Spider-Man movie, we will see Tom Holland don the black symbiote suit and the storylines that could come with that. It's all just stuff as a Spider-Man fan that makes your mind race, but then there's always that...
I'm gonna be upset because everyone's like, Black Goo gonna happen next. I'm gonna be upset if it's not there. You know, if it like doesn't happen. There's no Venom. What's it gonna make me upset? I want there to be Venom, Scorpion. I want there to be like they did the Sinister Five, bro. Really? Looks like it's cool. I'd love to see like the perspective Spider-Man. Like what they did there. No, I don't want them to do that. Because I don't want them to do that. But I guess they can't ruin something like that.
thing at the back of your mind that's like, what is Sony trying to do with their spin-off Spider-Man universe, and how are they going to include Tom Holland in it? Because anytime they interview Tom Hardy or even Jared Leto, they mention, oh yeah, I'm going to fight Tom Holland. Our fight will be intriguing. It'll be a good fight. They continue to tease it like it's something that they have planned and coming up in the works, and I just don't know if I'm ready for this college trilogy to lead up to a multiverse Sinister Six with more group of characters that have very little connections to our Tom Holland Spider-Man. Again, I just want to say this isn't me hating or not being excited for Spider-Man 4. I am going to be unbelievably excited for Spider-Man 4 when that movie gets made with or without John Watts. But I gotta admit, I'm like 2% now less interested with Sony not wanting to take that much of a risk and just bring back the same creative team to not try new things with Spider-Man, which I was really looking for.
Yeah, I want new things. I want it to be like Dark and Gritty. I don't want to be like, oh, you know, Spider-Man, this spell gets undone because true love or something. There's gonna be 3 trilogies. College, you know, I mean, there's the high school, then some college, and there's just gonna be the adult one. Make it adult one. We see it happen again. Introduce Black Cat. Introduce then someone else, you know? Make him fall in and out of love. And then he's in there again. Things happen. Boom. No. By the second movie, whatever person you're going with, break up or something. Boom. MJ said, boom, back together by the end of the second movie. Third movie in the college trilogy. See them together, all that, and then adult, and then
forward to a refreshing new college trilogy with Tom Holland. But I throw it off to you guys. You hear that Sony wants to bring back John Watts, Zendaya, basically the whole creative team from those previous 3 Spider-Man movies for the new trilogy. Does that make you just as excited, a little less excited, hesitant? Would you want Sony taking more refreshing risks even if it means not being as good? And are you hoping Morbius the Marvel Legend returns? Anything, everything, be sure to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.
Funny.
cabin.
Me. Big. Dead. Good. I. Good. B. I.